Letters to a Lover I Never Had by Megan Parker Quinn, recorded in June 2024. To Lissa, my constant reminder that life is too short to not do brave things. Prologue and true story. A white moth landed on my right hand the day I started again, a sign from spirit to follow the light. Dream, you sent me a white moth. It held the same frequency as you. I found it on a staircase, and it settled on my fingers, as though it was always meant to be there, drawn in by my light. Your name was brought up at the moment I said out loud that I decided to leave another. For the record, you were not my idea. I was supposed to be alone with heartbreak and shame. I thought that I was not worthy of finding another. Always in fear of being alone, constantly pushing people away. It would be me distracting with work. It would be me and my littles forever trying to make a home. You weren't supposed to happen. Before I even met you, even without me, you were perfect. I had forgotten that we had met before on a day where both of our friends needed us. I couldn't remember your face or who you were or what I said. All I can remember is that your shirt was red. Those two should be together, someone said. Someone who really doesn't say things out loud unless it's really, really important. Someone who has yet to be wrong. The more you came up in conversation, the more I started to realize that you were important. There was healing that needed to be done first. Things left behind before I could be brave enough to meet you again. But remember it this time. I had asked the universe a long time ago to be friends first with my future partner. That is what I have been given. An incredible chance to be your friend first. And that is what I shall be, if you allow it. Thank you for accepting the friend request that I sent at 3:30 in the morning, that important day from Las Vegas. I was sober, honest. When I found out that you were also a reader of books, my knees gave out as I swooned just a little while waiting in line for airport french fries. One of our friend's children called out your name one day when we were outside on an adventure and you were walking into your house. I'm the girl next door. That was the day I discovered a skill that I didn't know that I had, being able to snatch words out of the air, words that I didn't want people to hear. You were wearing a red shirt. I don't know how it started or what it was about. It didn't really matter. But it didn't take long for your messages to be my favorite. My intention was to be brave and see you again face to face. Over and over I asked. Over and over you chickened out, manifesting your reason to say no. And that was the start of the little yellow bird. I started to think I had made it all up, that our paths crossing was being missed by moments for a reason. Why would fate tease me with somebody so perfect, so soon after burning down yet another life, with someone who was anything but? Even if it wasn't going to turn into anything at all, you were denying yourself the opportunity to have a friend. Until I called you on your shit, then you showed up, first for yourself, and then at the door, wearing gray this time. I don't think we looked each other in the eye at all that first time we went outside together. I do remember that first hug you gave me, and the way my heart wall recognized yours. I remember it meant nothing and everything. I remember talking about everything and nothing. I remember the sun and how fast we walked. I remember not being able to breathe. I remember being lost, but not lost at all. I remember it not feeling like the hours that it was. I didn't realize what it was at the time, only that I remembered what it felt like as I picked a yellowing leaf from a molting tree, as I explained who it was that I am and what it was that I do, and that it's not my job to change anyone's mind. That I felt your energy reach into mine. And the blisters from that walk were as big as the feelings I had for you. Just as fucking painful. That first day is when I discovered your currency of mountains and water, and specifically hot water. You have stronger hugs, but my energy is undeniable. So much so that people seek it out. You can't control everything, you say to me. Well, I can try. Dream. We sat across from each other, you weaving stories of what has been happening in life, and me trying to flirt, pushing my foot on your leg. You put your hand on my foot, and we exchanged energy that way. Which sounds weird when I write it out, but wasn't at the time. That weekend, as I taught others magic, was the first time that I saw and had validated a lot what the future could be with you, and also that I needed to start growing out my hair. Go with the flow, you said. Be the boat, be the boat, be the boat. I repeated over and over on my mantra all weekend. Every card, every reading, all my own advice being dealt back to me. All the fucking boats. It made me seasick. Before I even knew what was happening, my heart would start to pound in a way I didn't fully understand yet. It would stop me from working, and it was all I could do to sit in the energy and try to breathe. This is when I started to wonder if this was how it felt when you were thinking of me. I hugged you around the waist, feeling both of our surprise about how well we fit. It was the first time I was able to lay my head against your chest and hear your heart beat. Over and over and over again, the future kept coming up with you in it. It started as a hopeful vision, but now it seemed like a curse. And the hope that was in my heart was shattered as you made a statement, a post that dug you deeper into a hole I knew you didn't want to be in, a hole you knew you didn't want to be in. The hardest part about it all has been watching my friend not follow their heart. We are all lost. You choose to be on a path that is hard on you, thinking that the pain that you feel will undo mistakes that were not all yours, that somehow you deserve it. Who am I to remind you that that's not true? If I were to pick you up in the morning, and drop you off 12 hours later and tell you to bring runners, a bathing suit, and towel, would you be brave enough to come on an adventure with me? You know that scene in Aladdin where he's standing on a flying carpet asking Jasmine, "Do you trust me?" She doesn't know why, but she looks at him with skepticism in her eyes, knowing that her heart is saying yes. That part, you're Jasmine. A moral dilemma was solved with clear boundaries, something you hadn't had before with a friend who just happened to be a girl. I have a confession. I wrote a check for you. Let me explain. It's how I make my magic. Paid to the order of myself for a one-day trip in the mountains with you. Signed from the universe. Created September 21st. The 21st always being a day of magic. Dated for September 25th. Cashed on September 26th. It's funny how honest a person can be when trapped inside a car with another who is also magical. I didn't need to look at the map. My heart always knew where it had to go. I can hear my heart better when I am with you. It is incredibly delightful to know that there are other people on this planet who get that same feeling as I do when finally arriving in the mountains. It's hard to describe because it is different than home or safe, but it's along those lines. It is a word that has you breathe deeper, that has you look up and around, that quiets your mind, an energetic pull to the earth. The word might be grounding, but with you, it's stronger than that. Perhaps a word that isn't even English. And maybe it is meant to be a feeling and not a word at all. We keep finding all these magical spots full of fairies that neither you nor I admitted to seeing. It happened that day, a significantly insignificant moment, when I saw how you see the light like I do. You are a light seeker. And this is the moment where I first started to not stop myself from falling in love with you. The mountain on one side of us and the water on the other. A fallen tree, my altar. I stopped. Shaking, I unwrapped my magic tricks, feeling them and my guides sigh in relief. This was what they had been intended for. This moment. You trusted me to cleanse your energy, and you trusted me to connect you to the earth. You trusted enough to allow yourself to listen to your heart, to breathe. When I put my palms on yours, an older part of you remembered. You saw something that day, a secret. I saw something that day too, that you also have the incredible gift as a light worker, that one day, together, we could help so many. And how beautiful you are.